is KHQA News at 10. It's your news now.
New jobs are headed to West Central Illinois. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for KHQA News at 10. I'm Rasha Maples.
And I'm Stephen Johnson. The Illinois Department of Human Services says it needs more space at its detention facility in Rushville. The center houses 507 sexually violent persons. Those people have served their prison sentence but are released to the custody of DHS after an evaluation. Now, because these people are only released after they've completed a designated treatment program, the detention center needs more space. Now the state plans to spend $13 million to add more beds.
It's going to put people to work through this two-phase process, and so it's going to create those construction jobs initially, and that'll be over the course of the next 2 years, 2.5 years, and then there will be a small need for some additional staff in the facility as well. So it's going to be certainly it will be an economic boost for the region.
Construction work should begin later in the year. Senator John Sullivan says the two-phase construction project should be completed within 2 years. Capital funding will pay for that expansion.
3 people are behind bars following a 3-month investigation into thefts in the Lewis County area. Police arrested Joseph and Ida Worrell of Hannibal and Ryan Gooding of Monroe City. The Lewis County Sheriff's Office says the 3 suspects stole stainless steel livestock feeders and watering systems from a swine operation near Monticello, Missouri. They're also accused of selling those items to salvage operations in Missouri and Illinois. The stolen items were valued at nearly $40,000. Police say a Payson woman used an elderly man's credit card. 37-year-old Sarah Rogers was charged Wednesday with theft over $500 with deception. Rogers posted bond after her Wednesday arrest.
Since the first of the year, the West Central Illinois Drug Task Force has made several meth busts. The most recent at 623 Oak Street led to Melissa Stroud's arrest on a variety of drug charges. A young child was among the residents in the home during the police raid. The task force commander says children have been present at each of the 4 meth raids this year.
And all these people have family that at least know what they're involved in. You know, they can see the differences in their appearance, the way they act. They probably have suspicions, and it's very important that they report that if there's kids involved. It's affecting these children as they grow up in this environment in a negative way. These kids are going into our schools. The schools are having to deal with them, and they have issues after they have to live like this.
Pat Frazier says a transition from large batch meth production to a small shake and bake method means that users can make their own, and that means the drug can be produced almost anywhere. He says multiple people tend to cook in a given household. Well, the Tri-State's got some very much needed soaking today. Let's find out if more is on the way from our meteorologist, Mike Cole. Mike?
Thanks, Stephen. Well, we're done for now. We saw the rain end earlier around dinner time. Now we have a lot of clouds to contend with coming down in the northwest flow behind the system out of Iowa through much of Missouri and the entire state of Illinois there. You can see the gray overcast skies moving through. We'll keep the clouds around as we go on through the overnight, but sunshine is in the forecast for tomorrow. Here's how we did with the rain totals. I've revised these since the 5 and 6 o'clock newscast. Had a few errors in there, and I'm sorry for that, but I want to make sure everyone knows the latest. We did see just about a ½ inch of rain across much of the region. Macomb at 0.65 inches. Kirksville just about 1/2 inch of rain. Quincy 0.35 inches, and Keokuk came in with the late reading there of 0.55 inches as well. So a good soaking rain out there for the region. Let's go ahead and take a look outside right now. We have a little fog out there. Visibilities are down. We are expecting to see clouds tonight. It's sort of a moist atmosphere, not much in the way of any precipitation. But as we go on through tomorrow, we'll see the clouds lift first thing in the morning, have lots of sunshine in the afternoon with temperatures topping out in the upper 30s. But guess what? We have more rain in the forecast. Those details are coming up.
Illinois Governor Pat Quinn is approving hundreds of millions of dollars for road projects and a boost for more child abuse investigators. Quinn signed the bill this evening after the Senate voted 38-15 to approve the supplemental appropriation. It's meant to shore up parts of state government that are running short of money with half of the budget year to go. It includes $675 million in unanticipated federal and state money available for road projects this spring. There's $25 million saved from the governor's closure of correctional facilities that will be shifted to the Department of Children and Family Services. Well, faculty at Spoon River College officially have a new contract. The College Board of Trustees ratified an agreement at a special meeting Wednesday. The new 2-year contract will be retroactive to last August. That's when the previous 6-year agreement ended. Now, faculty had been working without a contract since then. and had filed an intent to strike notice January 11th. The deal was reached following a session with a federal mediator. The contract is now available publicly on the school's website.
Everything is finally back to normal for Kinderhook residents. The village was under a boil order that left residents without water and canceled school on Monday. Mayor A.J. Bradshaw said that the boil order has been lifted and the water is safe to drink. Village operator Bill Bainter said the crews began working on a main break on Sunday evening. Lack of proper tools, though, forced the crew to stop working until the right equipment finally arrived. A sea of yellow soda caps have hit the shelves in gas stations near you. Refreshment Services Pepsi is holding its third annual Refreshing Way to support our community. KHQA's Jeff Monlock shows us how one Quincy school participated in this program this year.
At 5 cents a cap, you could be helping out a local charity. Refreshment Services Pepsi began collecting the yellow caps on February 1st.
Last year we collected a little over 305,000 caps and donated a little over almost $16,000 to local nonprofits and schools and different organizations that participated.
Collection buckets can be found at gas stations around town and even at Adams Elementary in Quincy. Principal Marcy Wells says Adams Elementary has participated in the program since it came to be. Her goal is to raise money for classroom technology to help keep students up to date.
We hear it a lot, but for future we're not quite sure of because technology continually changes. And so the way it was when I was in school is much different. And if we continue to teach the kids the way we were taught, then they're not going to be prepared to be able to compete for jobs in the future.
Children are able to bring Pepsi brand yellow caps and drop them in a large collection bucket outside the main office. Wells says a good way to motivate the kids to bring in caps is by making it a competition. Since last year's Boys Against Girls competition worked so well, they're doing it again.
They'll come in with a big bag and they'll be counting by fives as they drop each one in, so it may take a while, but you know, so it's not only encouraging them to work on their math skills, but just raising money for the school and learning to give back is a great opportunity for them.
Last year they raised nearly $900. Wells says this year's goal is to raise $1,000 through these caps. Jeff Monlock, KHQA News, Quincy.
All the yellow caps will be collected until April 30th. Thousands of law enforcement officers are searching for a former Los Angeles policeman accused of killing 3 people. That story when we come back on KHQA News at 10. You don't want to end up like Carol.
No, no way. Oh.
What?
What happened to the theft arrest full screen? What happened with that theft arrest full screen? It just didn't come up for some reason? Right, right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Ryan. Yeah, it just didn't pull it up. He's like, even though he checked it before, when he cycled this during the show, it didn't come up, and he didn't have a camera ready.
I'm telling you, they needed to make sure they had all the pieces together before they launched this thing.
Mm-hmm. But that's the first time that's ever happened with the full screen not coming up that I remember.
Yeah, but it's not the first time we've had troubles.
No.
Since it was okayed.
Mm-mm.
You're watching KHQA News at 10. It's your news now.
Police say they have found new signs of a former LAPD officer who was on the run after allegedly shooting 3 officers today, killing 1.
Christopher Dorner has vowed war on the police, and he has law enforcement all over Southern California on edge tonight. CNN's Emily Schmidt has the latest on the search.
Police on Christopher Dorner's trail say they got a bit closer Thursday afternoon, finding his burned-out truck near Big Bear Lake, about 100 miles east of Los Angeles. Dorner was already gone, his getaway growing with the mystery of why a former U.S. Navy Reserve lieutenant and a former LAPD officer would now be suspected of multiple murders.
This is an example of the propensity and the violence that this guy has to shoot at us.
Police say the 33-year-old Dorner says he's targeting police officers as revenge for getting fired in 2008. And they say 2 crime scenes Thursday prove it.
Of course he knows what he's doing, and we trained him. He was also a member of the armed forces.
Law enforcers say Dorner ambushed 2 Riverside police officers in their car, killing 1, wounding the other. In another scene, they believe he shot and slightly injured another officer. Dorner escaped. His motives may be best explained in what sources believe is his manifesto, which says, in part, I will bring unconventional and asymmetrical warfare to those in LAPD uniform, whether on or off duty. The letter also contains a threat to kill police families. Police suspect earlier this month Dorner killed Monica Kwan and her fiancé. Kwan was the daughter of a retired police officer who had handled Dorner's appeal when he was fired.
Dorner is to be considered armed and extremely dangerous.
Pentagon records show Dorner was rated as a rifle marksman and pistol expert, and that his last day in the Navy was February 1st. 6 days later, he's a suspected murderer, putting his former colleagues on highest alert. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
CNN also reports that Dorner sent a package to CNN's Anderson Cooper's office in New York. The package arrived February 1st and contained a DVD, post-it note, and a souvenir coin from a former LAPD police chief William Bratton, which was shot through with bullet holes.
President Obama's pick for CIA director faced Congress today. John Brennan answered questions about his involvement in the administration's controversial drone strike program. Protesters held up the start of Brennan's Senate confirmation hearing. He was up for CIA director in 2009, but withdrew his name from consideration after questions arose about his role in the war on terror. He was a CIA executive when the Bush administration used harsh interrogation techniques such as waterboarding. The Senate committee will review the hearing testimony and vote on Brennan's confirmation later this month.
Well, lots of clouds out there for us tonight, but we have more rain in the forecast. All the details are forthcoming after this break.
Did you hear me?
I heard you.
Okay. I didn't know if you told him that he needed to be there and he wasn't standing there.
I got my EMPS up. I know what I'm doing.
I didn't know if you knew that she dropped that story, so you had to be there.
I saw it. It was red.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the help.
No problem.
We're doing well on time.
Okay, good. You're doing well on time. You've got your phone. All is right with the world.
You know
All is well
You know
in
what's
the
interesting,
world.
though, is that there's not, you know how that yellow thing comes down EMPS sometimes during the shows?
Yeah, that's something Catherine has to do if she's
that's
timing
why it's not in
it.
5 and things like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've never learned how to do that timing.
I haven't either.
It's not that big a deal. It's just, it just catches your eye when you look over and you see right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But I appreciate it, Stephen. You know what? It's better to assume that I don't know and
Well,
not
yeah.
be there than, you know what I'm saying, the other way around. Because then you get one of these.
Because if you're busy,
Then you
working,
get one of these.
if you're busy working on your system or something, you
Yeah.
might not have been looking at EMPS. So.
Right. No, we're good though. But yeah, err on the side of caution.
Mm-hmm. Have you heard from Chad?
I saw on Facebook tonight that he is an uncle.
Okay.
Erica's sister had a...
I went to dinner.
See, Stephen,
breakfast
Raja, social media is enough for all the rest of us. She makes up for the, maybe the lack of social interaction.
It's probably true.
He told me they were going to induce her. So.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you need to write a book.
Now, your exclusive 7 Storm Team forecast.
Greetings one and all. Well, the rain is well off to the east of our region now. Even a little snow up towards Chicago. That's all that's left. Clouds, though, will continue to hang out across the tri-states as we go through the nighttime hours ahead. Clouds and gusty northwest winds as well, gusting to near 20 to 25 miles an hour, making it feel very frigid out there, even though the temperatures are in the lower 30s right now. We'll look for the clouds to part ways with us later on first thing tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine in the forecast for Friday. And then we're going to look for some showers and thunderstorms to move back into the forecast area for Saturday night and Sunday. So Saturday's looking dry, but Saturday night and Sunday are looking wet. 44 our high today, 37 our low. Normals would be 37 and 20 for the date. We're at 34 right now with cloudy skies. Even have a little fog out there. The last visibility I saw was down to about 2.5 miles. And it does look a little murky out there indeed. The humidity, 92%. Those winds northwest right now at 14 miles per hour. Across much of the lower 48, we're looking at temperatures that were, well, I guess you'd call it pretty mild today, but they're falling back as we go on through the nighttime hours into the 20s. We're at 34 right now here locally, 34 up in Keokuk. It's 32 out in Kirksville and 37 down to the south there in Pittsfield. Nationally, well, you can see the clouds across our region. What is of note is a major storm, Nemo, Winter Storm Nemo, that's going to plow into the northeast tomorrow. Folks in Boston, New York, areas up into New England are going to see anywhere from a foot of snow to maybe 2 feet plus of snow. As a matter of fact, as we go on through tomorrow into tomorrow night and Saturday, airport delays are none right now, but we are going to see this change by this time tomorrow night. There will be delays up and down the eastern seaboard as we go through a massive blizzard that will hit that part of the country. For us locally here, even with the fog, we do not have any airport delays at this very hour. So across the region, we're going to keep the clouds in place tonight, put the maps into motion, and we'll see that the clouds lift by around 7 or 8 tomorrow morning. Lots of sunshine for your Friday, and then as we go on in through tomorrow night into the day on Saturday, call it a partly cloudy sky developing with hints of our next weather maker coming out of the Central Plains. Some rain showers starting to develop over Kansas. They'll be in here by later on Saturday night. 27 tonight with cloudy skies and gusty northwest winds. For tomorrow, lots of sunshine, a high near 40 degrees, somewhere in the upper 30s more likely though. And then tomorrow night, partly cloudy to mostly clear skies and a low around 27 degrees. So for the next few days, we'll eventually tap back into some mild stuff on Saturday with a high of 47, 52 with those showers and thunderstorms on Sunday. The extended forecast will show dry weather by Monday. We're back around 40 degrees as we move on into Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going dry at this point. It did look like there might be a little snow earlier in the week, but it looks like now we're just going to go with the colder temperatures. And as we scoot on into Thursday, which is, of course, Valentine's Day, 28 degrees and partly cloudy skies. And right now, Raja and Stephen, I'm going with the dry forecast.
Well, that rain today quite, helped the drought a little bit.
Yeah, it was a good soaking rain. We picked up around a ½ inch, and, more episodes of rain like that is just what we need. You don't want the 5 or 6 inch rainfalls. That doesn't really do us any favors, but we definitely can use the moisture. We got some.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Well, there are more than 30,000 health apps on the market, ranging from ones that help people lose weight and workout apps to help monitor blood pressure and diabetes. CBS's Marley Hall takes a look at how smartphones are helping people reach their fitness goals.
Esther Gabrielides is trying to get back in shape.
I had lost 17 pounds a few years ago and kept them off probably 2 years. Slowly they started coming back.
She says she regained the weight when she stopped using an app on her phone called Lose It.
It just makes it much easier. You can scan a barcode of an item and it will calculate what you ate for you. So if I want waffle, so here's my waffle.
Studies have shown people who keep track of their calories and exercise, whether on paper or online, increase their chances of losing weight. Popular diet apps like Lose It and MyFitnessPal make it more convenient.
When it's in an app, you actually see immediately how many calories you're taking in, so you'll know how many you have left for the day. So did you actually record everything that you ate on your
But health experts warn the apps only work if you're totally honest and record everything you eat. Another thing to keep in mind, some apps can vary.
Some of the apps I find kind of overestimate how many calories you're burning in your exercise. So if you walked for a couple miles and it says you burned 600 calories, be careful not to eat an extra 600 calories.
On Saturday, I went a little overboard.
Now that she's back using her app, Esther realizes she needs to eat better.
I'm going to make much smarter choices going forward.
She wants to lose about 20 pounds before she turns 50 later this year. Marley Hall for CBS News, New York.
Sports time, Chris. What's going on tonight?
Everything is going on tonight. It doesn't stop. We've got regional championships contested on the girls' side, a thriller in college basketball. All the fun coming your way next.
That's a picture of mother to be proud of.
Honestly, it's been a dream. I used to dream about it as a little boy, just to go into England and play in soccer. It's the best place in the world to play.
You can go down there and play 2 more years, continue to develop, and then
Well, hopefully I can bring a little bit more knowledge to him. I know I'm going to be the under.
I thought I saw a tweet go out saying it was a sports final night or sports extra night. Is that true or not?
No,
Tuesdays and Fridays during basketball season.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised to see it tonight. Let me see what I saw here. Oh, it said extended sportscast tonight.
Yes.
That's what I saw. Sorry. It's easy to get confused.
We're confusing.
It's sort of the same thing, isn't it?
A little bit, yeah, sure. All semantics.
Cheeseburger crescent casserole. Oh. You know what I saw in a commercial that now I have a mad taste for?
What's that?
Totino's Pizza Rolls.
I had those at the Super Bowl.
Really?
Because I was dying for them, and I ate about 40 and hated myself afterwards. Thank you.
I haven't had those things in probably 15 years.
I hadn't either.
But I saw them on TV and
Kinda. Thanks. 60, 30, 15. I know what you mean. When the light goes on, I'll start talking.
Now, from across the tri-state, this is KHQA Sports.
Well, in recent history, South Bolton has been a virtual death sentence to Unity basketball, ending Lady Mustang seasons in 3 straight meetings. So tonight, for Brad Begeman's squad, there were only 2 options, and only one of them was palatable. It was either repeat or retribution. Tell you what, the latter certainly good tonight. Oh my goodness, kids! The Mustang fans dressed down a bit for this one. We love you, but shirts next time, fellas, please. Off the bat right in this one, Jill Donnelly firing and getting her team off to the good start. Was a little ugly early in this one for Unity, but they found some range, courtesy of Brianne Begeman, who knocks down the 3 right here. Even some outside game tonight from Brooklyn Moore. She's even better in the post. Not too bad here from the top of the key. She led her team with 14 points tonight. Whitney Murphy also getting into the act in this one, as vengeance was finally Unity's tonight. They win their first regional title since 2008. They win tonight by the final count of 44-35. Unity goes to the Mount Pulaski sectional to take on the winner of the Brimfield regional, which I believe is contested tomorrow night. Meanwhile, the adage never bet against Matt Long in February proved to be a good one tonight. 2A regional final tonight at Liberty. Pittsfield Central Southeastern. Dakota Lipkeman setting a nice tone early for her team. The point guard taking it strong, and then Tori Conover jumps in. She makes her presence felt right there with a splash. Easy for me to say. Pittsfield struggling to find offense. This is Shea O'Brien, but her team only had 17 points tonight. Central just getting it done. Transition game was great for the Panthers. Kara Twaddell right here going to finish against the double team. It kind of just went matador on her and wide open. That's an easy bucket. Erin Flessner getting into the act as well. All about Central Southeastern tonight as Matt Long's team books passage for the North Green sectional with the win tonight, 35-17. Madison Steinkamp not pictured leading the way with 11 points. The news also good tonight for Illini West, not so good for West Central. In Class 1A, losing in double overtime tonight at Greenfield to Carrollton, a heartbreaker for Brian Bettis and company, 58-54. But here's the good news. Josie Finch stays red hot for the Chargers. The young sophomore playing Vinnie Microwave Johnson off the bench tonight as she had 12 more. Havana take it out tonight. Illini West moving on. They advance to the Orion sectional against El Paso Gridley coming up next week. Missouri regular season action tonight at the Brashear tournament. Marion County taking on Atlanta. Devin Johnson, she's undersized, but she plays well in the low blocks there, cleaning up the miss, taking one up strong. Atlanta would keep this ball early with the early three-pointer right there, keeping this game pretty close. But here comes Marion County. Danielle Maxwell going to answer with a triple of her own in this one. Then Victoria Hales knocking down the jump shot. Really easy from down close and down low. Kaylin Spratt, the story in this game. She had 25 points, one of 4 Lady Mustangs in double figures. Marion County dispatches with Atlanta tonight. 64-50 was your final in that ball game. Couple of scores to pass along regular season action. Hannibal, a heartbreaking loss tonight to Moberly. That game was tied at the half. Hannibal loses 50-40. The news not good for Quincy High School tonight at home, losing to undefeated Rocky, at least undefeated in conference play, 70-33 your final. And Quincy Notre Dame, the girls do what they do. They beat up on Rochester tonight, 63-32. Big game tonight on the boys' side of things. Keokuk taking on undefeated Canton in Canton's own place. This game, fantastic from start to finish. How about Gabe McKenzie? Gives, goes, and gets, and then finds the bucket right here. However, Canton had no defensive answer for the big fella tonight. That was Kendall Clark, and he had 24 points. Also, Keokuk getting fantastic bench play tonight. Canton trying to answer down 9 at this point. Brandon Berhos knocking down the three-pointer there. And then it's Tyler Neiman with a forceful foray to the hoop. Pretty stuff from him. As I mentioned, too much Kendall Clark and too much Keokuk. Canton finally proves mortal as Keokuk gets the victory tonight. Final count in this one sees Keokuk wins 73-57. Other boys scores tonight, just one of them to pass along. Clopton a winner over Pleasant Hill. Final count in that ball game, 73-24. College basketball tonight, an absolute thriller between Benedictine and Culver Stockton. Culver Stockton with a big lead at the half. Second half, they're losing momentum, but Austin Keaton going to step up and try to restore things with the pretty move. Speaking of pretty, James Johnson just faking people right and left and knocking down the pretty three-point jumper. But that was the best of the highlights tonight. That comes courtesy of Mario Gully. Hook it up right here with Jermaine Jones. Throw it down, Jermaine. Beautiful stuff from him on the slam dunk. Best slam dunk we've seen so far this season. Good stuff as Culver Stockton hangs on to win tonight in overtime over Benedictine, 93-91. The news good on all fronts collegiately, at least these scores. Western Illinois takes care of business at home, beating Nebraska Omaha 68-50. And I tell you what, Quincy University needed this one. They went on the road at William Jewell, 56-55. Chris Babbitt, a career best, 27 points tonight. Not pictured there. Hannibal LaGrange with a loss tonight, so unfortunately not a clean sweep of victories. On the girls' side, Quincy University takes over sole possession of first place in the entire GLVC, thanks to a win over William Jewell, 68-59. Also tonight, Western Illinois, the women fall on the road to UNO, and Benedictine, number 14 in the country, comes to Canton and walks away with a victory. Final count in this game tonight was 59-52 in favor of Benedictine. Let's do some signing news now, and we'll start on the soccer front. I've covered a lot of signing day stories in my now 20-plus years of high school sports duty, but never one quite like the recruiting road less traveled taken today by Quincy Notre Dame soccer star Taylor Reese. His landing spot, not an NCAA or NAIA school, but rather the Richmond International Academic and Soccer Academy in Leeds, England, an intensive football fast track to talented prospects with pro aspirations. And the gifted Mr. Reese was among a chosen few to earn such an invite.
Honestly, it's been a dream. I used to dream about it as a little boy, just to go into England and playing soccer. It's the best place in the world to play soccer.
Having the ability to go and explore other parts of the world, other soccer cultures, other cultures in general, I think is an unbelievable experience. I mean, to be honest, I'm a little bit jealous and envious of him because he has this opportunity.
As any soccer player would, I would love to go pro if I could. And I think that this is also another factor in deciding where I wanted to go. I think that really gives me a real chance to actually go pro if I want to do that. And I can get a coaching license to eventually coach professional soccer if I want to do that. Or and I'm studying international business next year as well. So I got 3 really good options.
I would compare it to Division I soccer here in the States with a professional atmosphere around it. I mean, training 5 days a week and playing every weekend, and the ability to be able to play for 10 months during the year is just an incredible experience. I mean,
one of the cornerstones of Hannibal's conference soccer championship season, and arguably the most improved player in the entire region, Clay Cunningham is bound for East Central next season with an eye on an even grander college plan in 2 more years.
He can go down there and play 2 more years, continue to develop, and then kind of do this whole recruiting process over again. He has started for us for 4 years. I think one of his main assets is his ability to be a leader. He's very vocal out on the field. Another thing that really stood out about him is his strength has improved so much over the years, and that's all because of hard work.
It came down to 3 schools. It was Culver, Clark, and East Central, and I just bought into what the coach was selling me down there at East Central, and he's building a good environment, and I think I'll really like it down there.
I think that his style of play the last 2 years, I think he seems like a college player. Obviously, he still needs to develop in the skill sense of it, but he's ready as far as the physicality of the game at the college level.
With more signings coming up from Hannibal tomorrow with Gabby York and Dalton Powell. You'll see those tomorrow night at 6 o'clock.
All right, sounds good. We'll be